AP poll got Tulane up to 16 this week, Everett, but keep in mind that is not the college football playoff poll.
Oh, don't worry. ESPN's computer generated one doesn't even have Tulane in it. It has Louisville, it has Wisco, it has Minnesota, it has UCF.
Wisconsin, let's go. That's a ranked win for us, baby.
No, no Tulane apparently.
They probably have Wisco on that list, but no Notre Dame, huh?
Oh no, Notre Dame's 15. Don't worry, they're there.
Okay, all right. Oh, wait, let me go on.
You got Oklahoma too.
Really?
And don't worry, Baylor fans, you guys are in there at 16. Let me this can be our pre-intro. Let me just run through this list real quick. This is ESPN's computer generated list.
Okay.
1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 is Bama, 4 is Michigan, 5 is Tennessee, 6 is Texas, 7 is Utah, 8 is Clemson, 9 is LSU, 10 is
Bama has the best losses this year. You have to keep that in mind.
10 is Penn State, 11 is Oregon, 12 is Ole Miss, 13 is USC, 14 is TCU, 15 is Notre Dame, 16 is Baylor, 17 is FSU, 18 is K-State, 19 is Mississippi State, 20 is Minnesota, 21 is UCLA, 22 is Wisco.
After that game against Auburn.
22 is Wisco, 23 is Louisville, 24 is UCF, and 25 is Oklahoma. No Tulane.
I mean, at least you got a ranked opponent coming up in UCF. Is that next week, by the way, or 2 weeks from now?
No, that is this Saturday, 2:30 at Yeoman State. Huh?
At Tulane?
Yeah, at Yeoman.
Okay.
Thanks, game day, for screwing us.
That's going to be biggest home game of the year? No?
Biggest home game, probably.
Just based on circumstances, biggest home game of the year, I'd say, right?
Based on circumstances, probably the biggest home game of the last 20 years.
Okay. Big ass game for Tulane this week.
It's the first time that Tulane has hosted a ranked versus ranked in 75 years.
Wow. Okay. All right. Big time game.
That's what College Game Day gave up for Texas TCU, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean for it, Texas TCU got it.
Texas got it again.
Okay, I'll be honest. It shouldn't have gone Texas TCU, but at least they got it over Alabama Ole Miss.
If Alabama and Ole Miss got it after
part of me thinks Alabama if Bama won last week, it would have been Bama Ole Miss.
See, here's the thing: is I was provided information.
This is something I got to write down. I forgot, but keep going.
I was provided information that told me the scenario in which it would go to Tulane, and the scenario played out. So I was assuming that they were coming because of what information I was provided as a person on the team. They did not, and it's just weird considering that. Not like last week, the week before, they always announced it literally Saturday night, and they waited until 11:30 on Sunday morning to announce it. So something tells me that there was some stuff going on behind the scenes. But you know what? Disrespect and
whatever. We move on. Move on. Right now, Tulane has control.
Right, hold on. Let's just start the episode real quick.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today it is episode number 62.
63.
Seth. Shout out to Seth and the boys. Seth was a man that me and my friends we met a homeless man outside a gas station one time. His name was Seth.
Oh, we're not talking about the other one.
No. This Seth, he's in my heart forever. I hope he's doing amazing right now. But shout out to you, Seth, in case you're listening to the Waterboy Pod, helping out your boys. But yeah, episode number 63, special episode. I wasn't aware it's episode number 63, but now I'm bringing the heat. What a weekend of college football. One of the greatest weekends of college football that we've had in a really long time. And I know for a lot of bettors, this might not have been the greatest week at NFL, but as a man who does not bet and as a man who's a Chargers fan, that's about as best as it gets for us in terms of a weekend watching. I mean, the Chiefs did win, but hey, there's a formula to beat them. We got the Chiefs coming up in 2 weeks.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, Vrabel impressing the fuck out of me last night. Great shit tonight. I don't even know the Monday Night Football game on tonight. You know why, Everett? Because
Ravens and Saints.
Well, I don't care who's playing tonight. Why, Everett? Because college basketball is back. And over the past 2-3 years, college basketball has become one of my favorite sports to follow and watch. We're not really going to be breaking that down today, but I just want you guys to know The second that football is done, I will be talking more
Fun
about
fact,
college
by the
basketball
way,
than other
if
sports
you are an
personally.
avid water boy, if you're part of Waterboy Nation, Waterboy Analytics gang, the first thing that we ever really started with was March Madness. It was Brown Bears versus
Fighting
Fighting
Peacocks.
Peacocks. Brown Bears versus Fighting Peacocks. That would have been our first clip ever, had we not been lazy and not wanted to make it in
Had
time.
we had a system back in place at the time, maybe we could have gone viral earlier. But you know what? That's okay. We waited a little bit for me to go nuclear on my Ohio State take to get a little viral going out. But yeah, what a weekend of college football. Everett, there's no other way to start off this segment than with the college football recap, of course. So, Everett, break me down. Give me the timer. You're gonna be cutting me off too. I was also thinking about this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to edit this, but I've seen some other like 30-second videos, and when there's a timer on top of the screen just counting down, so you see that, makes me
All
a
you
little
got to
more
do, all you
interested.
got to do, go on to.
Maybe we also need to just really sell out, and instead of putting videos at the bottom, we just put like a GTA racing clip. Like that's the best way to keep viewers engaged.
Keep them
So like
entertained
maybe
that
we
way.
full sell out and just put like Rocket League or GTA racing clips at the bottom. That's how you get people
Maybe,
engaged.
maybe.
Uh,
To get that
yeah.
timer at the top, all you got to do, go screen record the little timer on like Google, like look up stopwatch on Google and just.
I am concerned though that I am only allowed to put 2 things in at a time instead of 3.
So
But okay,
you have to
what,
save it as its
that's
own
a us
video.
problem for
All right,
later. That's us
all
problem
right.
for
Are
later.
you ready? Are
Yeah.
you ready, gentlemen? All right.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm ready.
On your marks, get set. Vamonos.
Georgia's the number 1 team in the country, not up for debate. They have the 2 best wins in the country. Tennessee, what happened? Speaking about what happened, Clemson, what happened? Notre Dame embarrassed your ass. Number 4 team, get out of here with that bullshit. Ohio State survived like kind of a close bullshit one against Northwestern, but there was 80-degree-mile-per-hour winds. Where I'm, as an Ohio State fan, going to let that one go. LSU, Brian Kelly, you deserve all the money in the world. Nick Saban going down. Is this the end of the Bama dynasty? I don't think so, but fuck.
Wrapped. It's time.
Yeah, I missed a lot of shit there. I missed a lot of other games there, but screw it. I think got my points across. I think it works.
Got an email.
You got an email or I got an email?
I got an email from mail services at Tulane.
Were they calling out my recap or what?
I don't know.
Mail services from Tulane, or is that a code word for that recap was ass?
I don't know. They said return to sender.
I think I really could have done that one better, folks. But you know what? I don't care. We're gonna start talking about college football. Everett, right
At the
before
end of the week, there was only one game. There was only one game that mattered this week.
Yeah. Everett.
Tulane,
Okay.
Tulsa.
Okay. What we were talking about a little bit before this got me thinking a little bit about conference championship weekend, how that's gonna line up. Everett, something that really sunk into me. I was watching this game at home over the weekend, watching it with my brother. Love to bounce some ideas off of him when we're watching, and we both sat there, looked at each other, and thought to ourselves, LSU is gonna play in the SEC championship game against Georgia. Like the SEC championship game might actually not be good this year. And when I look at the whole
think that LSU would get worked by Georgia based off of what we just saw from Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know they just beat Bama, and Bama really wasn't playing well. Like, I mean, this is the
Nick
worst.
Saban might actually like conduct a like ritualistic sacrifice today of the defensive back room and maybe Bryce Young.
So I would say that too, but I think
it might be his OC.
It might just be a cool, chill year at Bama.
He might be sacrificing Bill. Bill O'Brien might be going to the sacrificial acts of Nick Saban this year.
No, yeah, but what happened over the weekend?
Nick Saban actually this is the first time he has ever failed rehabilitating a fired head coach.
What do you mean? Brian Kelly, wait, what? How?
Nick Saban takes old broken... My computer apparently likes getting emails. Nick Saban apparently, not apparently, Nick Saban likes taking old, broken, terrible head coaches either from the NFL or other top college head coaches, but specifically from the NFL. He takes them, he really rehabilitates them into being good coaches again and sends them back out into the world. Bill O'Brien might be the first time he has ever met his match of such
I
a
mean,
dog shit
BOB's
coach.
been there for a while. This year, just shit's just been. In my opinion, what I was saying preseason, the lack of wide receiver weapons, their O line is not what I thought it was going to be. J.C. Latham, who was a guy who was between Ohio State and Alabama, finally picked Alabama. He gave up 7 pressures alone against LSU over the weekend. So it's not like Ohio State's line's playing great. But shit. It's just a lot of things that I didn't expect to go towards LSU's way happen in this game. But I want to go back to that point about conference championship weekend, the SCU championship game right now. Based on the standings, it is supposed to be LSU versus Georgia. When we look at the rest of LSU's schedule, it's really not that tough. They got Arkansas next week. They got another cupcake, and then they end the year with like Vandy or some shit. It is LSU should win out, but it would be very LSU to choke a game throughout the stretch after just winning their Super Bowl. Like I'm not counting that out, but I would be shocked to see it happen after that win. But Everett, right now, it is looking like it's going to be LSU versus Georgia in the SEC championship game. And after what I saw Georgia do to Tennessee, keep in mind, Tennessee shit on LSU in Baton Rouge as well. Keep that in mind. From what I saw Georgia do to Tennessee, Georgia might just be manhandling everybody. Georgia might actually go back to
Manhandling
back.
everybody until we get
I
to the
didn't think they were going to
playoffs.
do it. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they might actually just do it this year. But in that conference championship weekend, winner of Ohio State, Michigan, Illinois lost to Michigan State. So for the Big Ten, Illinois is still the favorite, but Illinois is 4-2 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin, Purdue, Iowa, and Minnesota are all 3-3. So the Big Ten
Minnesota
West is
does
kind of
have
up for grabs.
Minnesota does have a chance. I was reading this earlier today. They do
They
have a route to making it to the
So,
Big Ten championship game.
but even then, like regardless of who makes it out of the Big Ten West,
I
Michigan
mean, they're
or
gonna
Ohio
get
State will
slandered,
get zero credit
slaughtered.
for that win. So that's not an impressive game. The best game of conference championship weekend will probably be the Pac-12 conference championship game between
Whoa,
Oregon and
whoa,
USC, UCLA.
whoa.
Everett, I'm talking. Okay, all right. We know about Tulane, but I'm saying there's not going to be a 1 versus like 2 Georgia versus Bama. There's not going to be the crazy winner is the 1 seed of the college football playoff game that I've kind of been
Yeah.
used to the past couple of years
Well,
with that
you
annual Bama Georgia showdown.
see, this is the thing that sucks about Michigan and Ohio State being on the same side.
Yeah, it does suck, but I'm going to be
That's.
honest,
I
they
mean,
cannot be playing twice a year. It's too much. It's
the
too
thing
much.
is, though,
It's
I
too
understand
much.
it is definitely too much,
It's
but
going to start happening soon with the 12-team playoff.
I feel like since they're already realigning the whole conference with the addition of USC and UCLA, why not put them at opposite sides of the bracket?
I think when USC, UCLA come in, I think they're getting rid of divisions.
You think it's just all going to be?
And then it's just the 1 and 2 seeds face off against each other. No more divisions.
See, that's what I like the idea of. I like that.
It should be that way because it is really unfair how certain like subdivisions and conferences are just easier. Like the SC West is so much harder than the SC East. The Big Ten West is so much harder than the Big Ten East is so much harder than the Big Ten West. Like there's subdivisions that are just significantly harder and they need to be changed. But with these changes or the addition of more teams in these conferences, I expect them to get rid of subdivisions. But yeah, that LSU win over Bama for the state of Alabama's program. Everett, what are you thinking about Nick Saban in his future with the Crimson Tide? Do you think this is
it?
This is like he's on his way out now? Like maybe one year after this, is this the last year? 2 years? Like what are we thinking? Because for me, I kind of felt like with the NIL whole thing with him in the off season, pretty much going up to his boosters like, hey, we couldn't get the number 1 class here if Texas A&M's dishing out all that money. It seems like Nick Saban doesn't really like how the times have changed, how college football is changing.
I don't think that he likes it because now it's more of a fair playing field because he used to just be
Yeah,
able to pay all of the
100%.
players and way more. With that said, though, like I think that Bama is like literally his child, and I don't foresee him. I don't foresee him leaving without a structured uh coach that's
I
going
don't
to
think he
come
would
in and be
fuck over the
trained.
program. No, no, no,
No,
no.
I
He's
think
leaving
that
it
the
in
way,
good
but what
hands.
I'm
He's not going
saying
to
is
do
like
that.
I could see him having an Urban Meyer departure from Alabama the same way
Has a man
Urban
set up.
has a man set up that he's
No,
basically been
yeah,
training for
100%
years.
agree.
And
Bama fans, yeah, go on.
I don't think that that guy is on staff right now. I don't think that he's on the
Yeah,
coaching
I'm
staff.
not sure either. Also, another thing, like I've been thinking this for years. Maybe after this weekend, people might be thinking differently. But Dabo, he played at Alabama. A lot of people have just been an easy suggestion. Dabo to fill in for Nick Saban, take over Bama when he retires. A
Here's
lot
the
of people have
thing.
been saying that for a while.
I
After
I
that game with Notre Dame, shit, I don't know. Like, I
here's
mean,
the
it
thing
makes
too.
sense still, but fuck.
I don't think that I don't think Nick Saban wants to leave the program
I don't think he
and
wants
have
Dabo to take over.
no, but I more so meaning like a lot of the times when a coach gets fired, obviously, right? Like with Auburn right now, like they're accommodating all of these top coaches throughout college football to come and take the Auburn job. Like Lane Kiffin is a very big name there. I can't see Nick Saban being like, all right, I want to leave and have a coach outside of the Alabama program come in and take over the staff. I think that he wants to know him personally, have worked with them for like a number of years, and then give them the keys. I think that he just needs the right protege.
Yeah, I do
Big
think though,
word
just
there.
at least in the short terms at Alabama, I mean, I haven't really been reading up on what Bama fans are thinking,
Like
but it might be an empty state.
there's no way that Nick Saban is never getting fired. Nick
No,
Saban is
no, no, no,
Nick
God, no,
Saban
God,
is
no,
not
God, no.
like he's not close to retiring. He has
I
is
think
it,
he is.
I don't think so. I think that yeah, they've had a bad year, but he's not gonna be like, all right, we sucked this year, I'm done. Like he's
I'm
gonna
not
go
saying
out with a
that, but
natty.
I think Saban this year is like I'm not
I
entirely
think
sure
he's
if he's destroying
frustrated.
the team
I
right
think
now.
he's
Is what I'm saying. I'm
frustrated.
not
I
really
think he's
sure.
frustrated. That's fair, but I think that he's gonna when he retires, he's going to go out with a Peyton Manning retirement, and he's going to win the Natty.
I I I was about to say I hope he does that, but like obviously I obviously want Ohio State to win. But
Not
I
this
mean
year.
Nick
I
Saban's
mean,
just the GOAT. Nick Saban, what he's done to college football and just absolutely changed the landscape.
and I
We'll
think
never
also
see that stuff retire.
Nick Saban is going to become a college football day analyst afterwards.
Man, I'm not sure if he wants to do that.
I don't know.
He could make a lot
He
of money. I'm
could.
not sure if he wants to. I mean, shit, if
Fox.
he does Affleck commercials, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up to, but okay. That was the Alabama game. Great win for Brian Kelly, LSU. My God. Like from what people were saying, they lose to Florida State early on. They get smacked by Tennessee. LSU, what the hell is going on? That win against Bama, I mean, what a hire. I didn't think it was going to pan out, but I mean, shit. Brian Kelly just beat Saban year one. Hopefully, this doesn't turn into a fucking Jimbo Fisher situation, though, and LSU goes to shit next year. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out like that. I don't think it will, but I mean, look at A&M, goddamn. But okay, Clemson, Notre Dame, Everett. I wasn't really following along this game because I was watching the Bama LSU game pretty closely. But I check my phone. It's 14-0 Notre Dame at halftime. Clemson is struggling to run or pass. Notre Dame was not able to pass well in this
Look,
game. They ran all over Clemson's ass like
I
it was
know,
nothing.
I know that we're not going to be able to splice it into this, but just replay the clip of you saying that the quarterback coach for Clemson is absolutely destroying their quarterback prospects. They've not been looking good. And for everybody who was here when you listened to that, and if you haven't listened to it, it's on TikTok. Go look at the comment section. Look at everybody shitting on Grant. Well, one for his pronunciation of DJ Uiagalelei, but
and Clemson.
But two for the actual take, them saying like, "Oh, Trevor Lawrence isn't bad. Like he was the number one pick or whatever." Right? The best game that a Clemson quarterback has played to date, year in year out, is their first career game. First career game. Cade Klubnik coming in, first career game, plays well. DJ Uiagalelei, first career game versus Notre Dame, played well. Trevor Lawrence, first career game, played well. Since that point, off a cliff.
It's just downhill. Just
terrible.
Not a great.
And you know what? That should be a repost. We should repost that.
Yeah,
I'm not even lying. We should
'cause it's just
repost
like,
that.
dude, Clemson. I mean, I've it just makes me happy to see the truth. Everybody, happy that the truth is finally fucking clear and visible for everybody to see. Um, anyway, though, yeah, Clemson just got boat raced. Bye bye, ACC. You guys are out of the playoff. I was concerned that Clemson was going to weasel their way in as a 13-0, get shit on round one by someone. But now this opens a really good path for two SEC or two Big Ten to get in. Right now, I think there's a pretty good chance that Tennessee can sneak their way back in this fourth spot if things go to
You think
plan.
that they could take the 4 spot? I mean,
I think
Clemson is
there's a
not
chance.
making it. So
No,
where
no,
do you
no,
think
no,
Tennessee?
no Clemson. But well, we're about to get my rankings to a sec. But I think there's a path for it
I
now.
think when
I also
when
just want to say, fuck Notre Dame. God damn it! If you guys just beat Marshall and Stanford, that Ohio State right now looks like God. But whatever.
all
It's not.
I'm saying is
I'm sorry, Notre Dame
when
sucks ass
TCU
this
when
year, even though they
TCU
shit on
loses
Clemson.
when TCU loses this week to Texas, I think it's going to shuffle up everything.
Yeah, so I'm also in the agreement that Texas is going to beat TCU. Remember, it's at Texas as well. I'm under the impression Texas is going to win. We're gonna get to my rankings in a little bit. I'm not really giving TCU much credit. I think they're going to lose too. I do think the committee will slot TCU in that 4 slot, but I wouldn't. But I think they will. I'd be kind of surprised if they didn't. But yeah, just Notre Dame getting that win. God damn it. Okay, now, before I get my rankings, let me talk about Ohio State a little bit and Michigan and stuff. Okay, so Ohio State, Northwestern. In this game, Everett. I probably shouldn't do this for my mental health, but I'm gonna pull up the Ohio State numbers real quick.
Oh boy.
Ohio State won 21-7. At the game, there were 80-mile-per-hour winds. Pre-game, there was a video. It's the kicker lining up for like a 45-yarder. Right, nothing crazy.
Yep.
He kicks the ball as the ball's like 5-10 yards away from crossing the goalpost. It just stalls midair and then starts blowing backwards. So when I saw that clip before the game even started, I was like, whatever the fuck happens in this game does not matter. Throw it out the window. This game actually does not count. And on the first drive, Ohio State, it was very ironic. They're lining up in their passing sets. They're passing the ball, throwing it. And in those passing sets, they were finding success on the ground. They were able to run the ball on that opening drive. That wasn't the problem, but it's just every time CJ Stroud threw the ball would just be literally 8 yards off target because the wind was so fucking awful. However, immediately after that drive, Ohio State, they pivoted to like, okay, fuck, we have to run. And so did Northwestern. And literally every box that Ohio State ran on had like 10, maybe 12
10 dudes.
like maybe even 13 people in the box.
Oh, okay. You get the ref. You get in the ref from the Vikings game in there.
Yeah, but like the box was so fucking stacked. I'm sitting there. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, but then again, yes, like Michigan, it doesn't need to be shitty conditions. The whole stadium knows they're running the ball, and they still run for 8 yards per carry on your head. Ohio State can't do that, which concerns the shit out of me. Yes, like don't get me wrong. But I've kind of pointed this out the past couple of weeks. Like I thought the running game was fixed. It clearly isn't. Like we need to be able to pass. We need to be able to throw. And in these 80-mile-an-hour wind conditions, that was not a possibility. So CJ Stroud finished his day, Everett, 10 for 26 with 76 passing yards.
Saw that. Yeah.
However, though, CJ, 6 carries for 79 rushing yards. He ran for more than he passed. And like, yeah, that's not a great sign, especially for CJ. However, CJ's not a runner. He is not a track star. But I saw that. Over the weekend. CJ was like, okay, I can't throw. Fuck it. I need to run. I'm going to run. I'm going to nut up or shut up, Everett. And he just started running the ball. And when I saw that out of CJ, almost brought a tear to my eye. Because we need that dimension. Like the quarterback, when the defense is giving you 4 yards and they're playing soft coverage, you need to take those yards. You cannot just let the defense sit back in coverage every single play, which is what CJ has been doing. literally he'll have 10 yards of green grass in front of him and throw into triple coverage instead of taking the yards. But now he's running and taking his yards. But lastly, I just want to say, like, Ohio State's defense, in my opinion, they did not give a fuck the whole week. This is another case of, like, and I know I keep making this excuse, and I have been making this excuse for years in the past, and I keep on saying this isn't really a big concern. I think Ohio State's going to win the Natty, then they get boat raced by a real team. This year, I am still kind of on the side, like, yeah, Northwestern played the best game they'll play all season. Ohio State played one of the worst games they'll play all season, but still, even then, it was really uninspiring to see Northwestern just casually run down us. I don't know, because I know this, like I said before the game, throw everything out the window. It doesn't matter. But it still just pissed me off to see the way that the players were playing. It really seemed like they did not give a fuck being out there.
Like, I mean, it seems like everything, they feel like everything is just for granted. And that's a big.
And another thing is, part of me was like, I saw some fans being like, move Ohio State down to number 4 in the rankings. Maybe they'll start caring. That won't even fucking pick them up. Like,
The only way they
media,
start caring is if they're not even in the
block
playoffs.
out the media. At, like, Ohio State really isn't impacted by the media at all. But I think in that locker room, I think they might just be gassing each other up so fucking hard right now. Like, they're the greatest team ever. I don't know. It just seemed like that last week. It really just seemed like they did not care at all when they showed up.
Yeah, that's not a recipe for success. It sounds like.
So yeah, well, I'm about to get into my rankings. But yeah, for my short little Ohio State the Union, just like, I know Michigan was losing to Rutgers at halftime, and Ohio State's been really bad at the half of a lot of games. My one big difference is the second that second half starts, Michigan changes the shit around and starts fucking turning it around. Ohio State does not immediately start changing it when that second half starts. They only start really going after it when
they've got 2 weeks to fix it.
Do something.
They've had 2 weeks to fix it.
Which isn't a lot of time, Everett. But I do want to say, though, Everett, this game is in Columbus, and Michigan has not beaten Ohio State in Columbus in our lifetime. So I just wanted to point that out.
That's a long time.
They have not beaten Ohio State in Columbus in our lifetime. So I just wanted
long time.
But yeah, let's get my college football rankings. So for me, Everett, number 1, I got Georgia, not up for debate. No debate. Let me say all the rankings first, and then I'll get it. Okay, these are my college football rankings for week 10.
College football playoff rankings, or just top 10?
It was last week 10? Last week was week 10. Yeah, last week was week 10.
Week 11.
These are my college football playoff rankings after week 10 for week 11. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. Number 4, Tennessee. Number 5, TCU. Number 6, Oregon. And number 7, LSU. Go Tigers. But yeah, those are my rankings for the week. Let me break these down. Look, Georgia, not up for debate. Don't need to say anything there. I mean, goddamn, holy shit. Nothing else to say. Now, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3. These are my personal rankings, but I am thinking a little bit how the committee would move these teams up and down. So in my eyes, last week, with Ohio State being at 2, Georgia 3, Tennessee 1, that told me that the committee, in their eyes, has made up Ohio State as the number 2 team in the country. There's literally nothing that could happen next week to move them down. In my eyes, if they were not sold on Ohio State being the second best team, they would have put them at number 3 and Tennessee, Georgia 1, 2, but they didn't. They put Ohio State 2, and in my opinion, they did it for a reason, to send a message that Ohio State is the clear 2 number team in the country. So after that weekend, I don't see Ohio State dropping. And also, if we're talking resume, Ohio State's resume just got boosted last week after Notre Dame's win. So if we want to talk resume, Ohio State was one of the bigger winners of the week. Now, Michigan. Last week, Michigan was ranked 5 in the committee. Now, I know the number 1 and number 4 teams lost, but that is not going to move Michigan from 5 to 2 over Ohio State for beating Rutgers. And yes, Ohio State beat Northwestern 21-7, and Michigan beat Rutgers 52-17. Okay, Ohio State beat Rutgers like 49-10, It's the same fucking thing. It's not like Michigan was more impressed than Ohio State in that common opponent win. So Michigan's not jumping Ohio State after a Rutgers win. Okay. They're not going from 5-2 for a Rutgers win. It's not happening. That's all I gotta say.
That's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Like, I mean, if you you can personally believe Michigan's a better team than Ohio State, but if we're just talking rankings, just logically, there's no way they'd go from 5-2 and jump Ohio State after Ohio State won by double digits and Michigan beat Rutgers by 30. Like, that's not going to happen. But okay, let's talk my difference between Tennessee, TCU, Oregon, LSU. Okay. In my opinion, I got Tennessee at 4 and TCU in 5. And this is more so bias, like fuck the resume. In my opinion, the last couple of years, college football, the committee has shown that 4 spot isn't really a most deserving spot. It's who they think got cheated out of some bullshit and should be in the playoff, but isn't. Now, last year, since he got that 4 spot, but in past years, Bama has gotten that 4 spot. Other one-loss teams who don't have conference championships get that 4 spot bye. Georgia got it last year. They didn't win the SEC championship. They got last. Like, you get what I mean? So
wait, last year the 4 spot wasn't the 4 spot Cincy last year? Or was that
last year? Georgia wasn't the 4, but Georgia lost the SEC championship and was still ahead of an undefeated Cincy. So, like, once again, I mean, they were right. Georgia was the best team last year, but it's like these personal opinions do matter a lot, like more so than who deserves to get in. So I think Tennessee will stay at the 4, especially after they ranked them number 1 the week before. And a lot of people can say, like, well, Bama lost. That win's not impressive. The committee thinks Bama's the greatest team ever. So right now,
the committee thinks that every year.
So right now, Tennessee and like right now, instead of Bama getting shit on for losing to Tennessee and LSU, they won't get shit on. Tennessee and LSU will now just get a fuck ton of credit as extremely good teams. That's what's going to happen. Bama doesn't get shit on for those losses. LSU and Tennessee get propped up.
All right.
So, yeah, that's what I got. But I still have Oregon over LSU just because, like, LSU got pooped on by Florida State.
Oregon's starting to look. Oregon's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of their week 1 loss to Georgia. By the way, keep that in mind. They played Georgia the first week. They've looked pretty good. Bo Nix looked pretty good, and I personally think that after watching Hendon Hooker just get slaughtered by Georgia,
we'll bring that up later.
For CJ Stroud not putting up the numbers in which you would have hoped, even though weather conditions permitted him from doing that. And Blake Corum not having the greatest of weeks, even though they won. Bo Nix might be a Heisman.
I think
a
Bo
Heisman
Nix
selection.
And Drake May should be getting at least some talk.
I think that if Oregon keeps continuing the track record that they go and they make the playoffs,
Bo Nix should win it. And also, that's the story that Heisman voters are looking for.
That's what they want.
Auburn transfer to Oregon, taking a Pac-12 team to the
who lost their head coach, their best running back from last year. Right, he's taking a team of
for me, Everett.
He's getting a band of people from Misfit Island together and carrying them on his back to the playoffs.
Now, like, I'll be like, I'm a USC fan, but what Oregon has been doing this year is really impressive. And if anything, Oregon's also super hyped that Georgia pooped on Tennessee. Because we really got to see where Oregon and Tennessee are ranked compared. I don't think Oregon would be ranked ahead of Tennessee, but shit.
Now let's keep in mind when you guys are listening to this, right? Assuming you listen to this the day it comes out, which is Tuesday, November 8th.
Yeah.
The rankings come out on Tuesday, but we record this ahead of time, so we do not have the college football playoff rankings. We don't have the rankings right now. We have the AP poll, we have the USA Today rankings, like the coaches poll, but we do not have the college, the committee's rankings.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. That was a lot of college football talk, Everett. Let's get on to NFL right now.
Roll wave.
Yeah. We're gonna break that down. We're gonna break that down on Thursday's episode.
Okay. Yeah. So the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about for this week.
Oh, let me do my recap.
Oh yeah, right. You got that. All right. Are we ready?
Uh, uh,
Deep breaths.
wait. Just give me like a
Deep
second.
breaths.
Give me a second. Okay, I'll let you do this pick for me. Should I start with Justin Fields or the Lions or the Jets?
Ooh, you got to start with the Jets.
All right, okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
I have no idea what's going on in New York with the Jets. Lose to Belichick last week, beat the Bills this week. I don't know what's going on in the AFC Beast. Justin Fields is officially him, best quarterback in that draft class. Did so much shit against the Miami Dolphins over the weekend. Justin Fields is him. Packers, what is going on, Aaron Rodgers? You guys lost to the Lions. Enough said. Vikings, the referees were helping out the commies, squeaking out a BS win, a BS game. Good for the Vikings. The Raiders choked Central. Jacksonville came back on you guys when you were up like 17-0. What's
Cut.
going on there?
I allotted a little extra time because there's a lot of breaths in between each
Yeah.
each section, but
It happens.
it happens.
But,
it happens.
Okay. Everett, let's talk the Vikings because I know
All right.
you have a lot to talk about in their Kirk Cousins revenge.
I essentially was having
game, or is it like a appreciate that you're not here anymore game?
I think it was a bit of both.
I'm not really sure if you're getting revenge on them when you leave and you're getting paid like $30 million a year.
Well, also he wanted to stay in Washington. They just never gave him the contract that he wanted.
Oh, then never mind. Revenge game. Never mind.
Yeah. So the thing is I was having an aneurysm on Sunday watching this game. I don't know if you saw my tweets coming out in the subsequent moments after the referee quite literally targeted a player during a live play and should have been ejected from the game. So he should have ejected himself from the game.
I just want to say before you really go on a rant about this, when I first saw the clip of that, I was like, it seems like he's trying to like get out of the way. But then on second thought, if he just stood still and didn't move, nothing would have happened. But he decided to sprint what I want to say. Harrison Smith.
No, it wasn't Harrison Smith. It was Cam Bynum. Is if you watched the film originally, right? Like I was talking to some of my friends, they're like, oh, like it's like they were like kind of laughing, like he was trying to get out of the way. Like I was saying, the referee directly stared down Cam Bynum, looked at him walking, and the referee started cutting in front of Cam Bynum. And the moment Cam Bynum steps back to play the ball, the referee then moves backwards and shoulder checks like he's playing hockey. He side checks him out of the ball.
Like the first thing, when I didn't see the full clip, I just saw a quick snippet at the end, and it seemed to me like the ref was trying to. So it seemed to me. So the ref.
The ref was getting flashbacks to his high school football days. But there were
players on his right, and it seems to me like he was trying to run away from the players on his right, but by doing that, he was running into the direction
of the actual play
of the other player on the left. I'm forgetting their names.
Cam Bynum.
This is a horrible description.
Cam Bynum.
But
here's my question:
it just seemed like he was running away.
Did the ref?
If he just wasn't moving at all and just stayed still, the other players would run around him.
Did the ref just get a big moment of deja vu and flashed back to when he was playing high school football and thought that he was in pads?
I was just
take out the player.
I was just shocked. What the hell is going on? Also, another question. Was Chase Young playing in this game?
He was not. He was on the sidelines.
Oh, okay.
If Chase Young was playing, I think Kirk Cousins might have died that game.
Something I just want to ask you, and you know what? Based off that what the refs did, I wouldn't be surprised if they were somehow involved within this department of the game. But please break down to me how the Washington defense racked up 13 TFLs on you guys, and Dalvin Cook was held to 47 rushing on 17.
So the interior O-line was just getting absolutely worked the whole game. Okay. There was constant pressure. They were constantly in the backfield. They have a very good defensive line, and our interior offensive line is very small and is not great. Better than last year, but not great. Ed Ingram, who's our rookie right guard, has been getting no, he's been gone for years. But I think he was on the Giants recently. But no, like Ed Ingram was our rookie right guard. He's been getting worked like all season, so that's not a surprise. Um, and Kirk Cousins, like props to him. He got off probably one of the best passes of his career and went down after that play. He was out for a play because he got hit so hard in the ribs. Um, but yeah. So here's a big thing that I wanted to point. I'm hopefully gonna make this good enough to make it a clip. So keep this in mind here, and we can redo it if we need to. I'm gonna start with this. Did you see the video of Kirk Cousins on the airplane on the way back?
Who didn't?
Okay. Kirk Cousins has been reborn. There's no primetime. Kirk is dead. Kirko lives. Kirko, we're Kirko.
See in like a week or two when they play.
No, you know why I say his funeral is tonight. Primetime Kirk's funeral is tonight. Kirk Cousins is on Peyton the Manning cast tonight on primetime football. Primetime Kirk's funeral is tonight. Kirko is now taking over. Also doesn't hurt that Kirk Cousins literally is the real life version of Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
Dressed to impress, take off the clothes, and he is ripped. I for one thought that he had like a Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning kind of body. I thought that he was a little like dad bod kind of situation. No, that might be one of the most ripped quarterbacks I have seen in a while.
I'll be honest, just the Kirk shit going on. One thing that I saw, it was just like a clip of the Vikings locker room after their win. And that to me just seems like a team and a culture that wants to play together, wants to play some team football, play some Minnesota
I've been saying
together.
I've been saying this for a while, and I think I said it on the last podcast.
Was a really good hire, and go.
This also could be a good clip. The Vikings, it doesn't matter if it's versus the Chiefs, versus the Texans, versus the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. If they win the game, they're going to win by the same margin. They could beat the worst team in the league and the best team in the league both by 3 points. It's not going to make a difference. And if you disagree with that, you haven't been watching football. You haven't been watching Vikings football. So therefore, you have a point. You can't be making.
Like in college football, I'd be upset if Ohio State's won this, but in the NFL,
a win's a win.
I don't care. Is a league where a win is a win. I'm going to be honest, and this is another thing that I wanted to talk about. So before the year, I was kind of thinking to myself when I thought of like Staley, McVay, some of the other younger coaches, like there's no way that like a 32-year-old guy is going to pump up a veteran locker room. Like there's no way that.
Yeah, you were saying that you don't think Kevin O'Connell is that guy.
And I told you were wrong. I don't think he's that guy. What I saw in that locker room clip, those guys fuck with KOC, and I think that's extremely impressive. I think that's arguably the number one thing you have to do before you can be a successful NFL coach, demand respect.
There's a side-by-side comparison between Mike Zimmer from last year and Kevin O'Connell from this past game. And the Mike Zimmer, it's like, all right, guys, meeting 9:00 tomorrow. Coaches, good job. All right, ready? Break. And it's just like dead quiet. You can't tell if it's a win, if it's a loss. I think it was a win, but like it's dead quiet. Like nobody's excited. There's no emotion. There's no passion. People just kind of look like they just hate being there. And when you look at this Kevin O'Connell clip from the locker room last night, my God, everybody just looked like they're having the best time ever. Even the owners are like in on it. Like the owners gave Kevin O'Connell a game ball.
I would say like the biggest takeaway for me after seeing that, it really seems like the Vikings have a great team culture. Like that was my biggest takeaway from the weekend seeing them. It's hella impressive to be rounding off wins like this.
They are the only team that is one loss. They're the only one loss team right now in the NFL. 7-1, the only team right behind the Eagles.
This is one thing I want to ask you about the offense, Everett. So last week on our trade deadline special, we of course TJ Hockenson, the trade to the Vikings. You were saying anytime touchdown score. Now maybe he didn't get the touchdown ever.
I'm not gonna lie, my prop lock
fucking show up.
My prop locks from last week were not so much of a lock, more of a garbage dumpster fire.
Hey,
so
but
I
it's
apologize for that.
We keep shooting.
At some point, we will.
You still got the guns out.
Shaq made a 3 at some point in his career. I can make one too.
But one thing I was looking at, I don't have the exact numbers. I was just trying to scroll through the
I
play-by-play
believe
a little bit.
he led the team in receptions, by the way. I think he had like
TJ Hawk,
7.
9 catches,
9
targets,
catches.
9 catches on 9 targets,
Yep.
70 yards. What I'm
And
looking
he
at,
made some very contested catches that were very impressive.
this is what's really sticking out to me. I don't have the exact numbers. I'm just scrolling through the play-by-plays, and I'm seeing on a lot of third downs, who did KOC call on? TJ Hockenson, and he converted a lot of these third downs. In the early game, you guys went to him 2 times on third down. You didn't convert the second one, converted the first. Another attempt to Adam Thielen, incompletion on third.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, by the way. Adam Thielen recently has been worrying me. He doesn't really look like a wide receiver 2 right now. I would like to run him in a slot situation, kind of like how Hunter Renfrow is used. I think he would do really well on the inside.
Well, that might be a little racist, but okay.
What?
What? He's just a white guy, so you put him in the slot?
No, I'm saying
Justin Jefferson was the slot guy.
Jefferson plays inside, outside. It doesn't really matter, but I'm saying
I was just kidding, but
okay. But I think that
if Thielen, yeah, let's use him like Renfrow. Yeah, shit, let's use him like Wes Welker and Edelman too.
I mean, shit. If you want to go that route, yeah, let's do that.
But
let's do that.
Go on.
Maybe what was the other lacrosse player that was on?
Chris Hogan.
Yeah, him. Danny Amendola. It's all Patriots wide receivers.
Scotty Miller.
Yeah, I forgot about Scotty.
Yeah.
All related to Tom Brady in some fashion. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that if the Vikings can get on Odell, I think that, my God, send it a lock to at least the NFC Championship game. I'm nervous for the way that the wide receiver core is working, and I think having TJ Hockenson there obviously makes a sizable impact, and it's going to be amazing to watch him for the next couple of years. But I do think there needs to be some wide receiver reinforcements, and I would hope that there are definitely some holes on this roster that need to be fixed, and I hope that either in the offseason they can sign a wide receiver or they can draft one higher in the draft next year, and have an extra weapon on that. Because KJ Osborne and Adam Thielen, while both are good, I don't think that either are a true number 2. They haven't been getting much separate. KJ Osborne hasn't been getting much separation this year. Adam Thielen has been dropping a lot of balls he would be catching over the last couple of years. So, just looking forward to the future.
No, yeah. I do think, though, really impressive thing. I think the TJ Hawk, I mean, we're seeing it from their first game. Obviously, that helps out the offense a lot on third down situations. That was something I was really thinking about. Well, hopefully the run game can improve.
One thing I want to note, by the way, that's important for this next week, and we'll find out as time goes on. Josh Allen has a UCL injury. And do you know what a UCL injury is normally?
That Tommy John?
That's Tommy John.
How do you get that throwing footballs, dude? What?
So I think he got hit on a throw, something like that. I'm not really sure, but also it's all based on your throwing motion. If he's using his elbow a lot more on his throwing motion, something like that. I don't really know, but it is an interesting thing to look at, because if he does not play, the duo for the Bills just so happens to be
from their backup or Barkley or like
the duo that would be starting for the Bills just so happens to be the Minneapolis Miracle Gang, Stephon Diggs and Case Keenum versus the Vikings.
That could be fun for Buffalo. Get a little Minnesota Miracle in Buffalo.
Revenge game for Stephon. Anyways,
I quick comment on my Chargers Falcons game. This was the most Chargers and Falcons game ever. Okay, I have no other way to describe it ever. I'm not sure if you saw the ending of this game. You definitely had shit to deal with your game. But
yeah, I was stressing.
It was near the end of the game. Chargers got the ball with they got 2 minutes, got to drive down the field. Or like 3 minutes, 4 minutes left.
I actually did catch the end of your game. I did see highlights.
They get to the 30-yard line. I forget who makes I think it was
Austin Eckler
Eckler has
fumbles the ball. He fumbles the ball.
He
Then
fumbles the ball.
Atlanta gets it, fumbles
Atlanta
it back,
gets it,
and they get it.
then
And then
fumbles
they
it back to the Chargers.
and then they ruled that Eckler was down after all of that.
And when I watch in real time, I first thought like, oh, Eckler was down. Like it wasn't even a fumble in the first place.
Yeah.
However, he actually wasn't down. Like he was not down.
They went back and ruled that he was down though.
No, they did not.
Oh, they didn't? I thought that they did.
But the Falcons actually just choked the game away by the defender fumbling it back. And it's also just the most Falcons shit ever. I thought it'd be really Chargers. You get the first down. You're in field goal range of Eckler. He fumbles. You lose the game. They fumble. You get the game back. You should win it.
All right. So what do you think?
Chargers to go down
what do you
and
think
lose
about
that game, right? No.
What do you think about Dicker the kicker?
Falcons. That dude has been clutch his whole fucking life. He hit that massive ass field goal against Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout, Texas years ago. Dicker the kicker is fucking clutch. I'm pretty sure he's the first kicker in NFL history to hit game-winning field goals for 2 different teams in a single season.
Actually, what other team was he on?
I forget which team he was on, but he was. We like just picked him up like last 2 weeks, and so I think
it was this week. It was this week.
Yeah, no, yeah, like we just picked him up. Like when he was kicking, I was like, wait a second, Dicker's our kicker, bro. What the fuck? I didn't know we had luck on our side. Like Jesus, but I thought it was going to be extremely Chargers to just choke the game away after losing the game, then getting the game back in your hand. But I forgot we were playing against the Falcons, the biggest choke artists in the league. So of course, immediately after the Chargers are out of field goal range, next play, immediately back in field goal range, game over, they win. But yeah, that's all.
I wonder how Brandon Staley feels to know that no matter what he does, he's getting fired at the end of this year.
I don't know. Like the Chargers are so stupid, they actually might keep him. Like that's what some of my friends are concerned about. That like we're winning these stupid. Also, the Chargers are the first team. I think they're the third team in NFL history to go down by double digits in the first quarter in 4 consecutive games. They've been down by double digits in 4 straight games in the first quarter. Damn. I've never heard of that in my life. And they're actually 3-1 in that stretch, believe it or not.
Okay. All right. Let's get to this last little segment that I want to get to, unless you still got one more thing for Chargers.
I just got no more Chargers. I just want to say one thing about Justin Fields and the Dolphins. Justin Fields is the best quarterback in this draft class. When we did our draft talks, when we were going over that like a couple months ago, I was saying how I am so sad that Jameson Williams and Garrett got drafted to the Lions and the Jets because their careers are going to be over before they even begin. Now, Garrett is proving me wrong. J-Mo hasn't played yet, and Olave's in a good spot, and he is just a fucking star. But Justin Fields, I did not expect him to actually be putting up numbers with just one of the worst situations around him. And
well, he's putting up numbers now because he's just really not giving a shit. And he's just throwing the ball up like Mooney. Now that they have Chase Claypool there, so that Mooney's
I'm not even talking about throwing. Like from what I heard, they started taking plays from the Ravens, more quarterback design runs, and Justin Fields just broke the record for most rushing yards in a game by quarterback, 178. Justin, the thing is, like at Ohio State, his first couple of games, they had him running a lot, and he was really dynamic as a runner. And then he got banged up against Penn State, hurt his knee, and literally since that game, Ohio State did not run him anymore. For the next year and a half after that, they stopped running him because like he really banged up his knee bad. And I thought that was going to be a concern. Like I thought that was going to be a problem, but Justin is so fucking dynamic on the field. This man is just running away from dudes. He's eluding guys in the pocket, spinning around. He didn't do that shit at Ohio State. I don't know where he learned that. I'm so shocked to actually see him fucking develop like this with the Bears. I didn't think it was possible, but he's doing it.
I still don't think that he's going to end his career. I don't think he's going to be a long-time Bear, to be honest. But
I really hope he gets off them as quickly as possible. But I think this is the best quarterback the Bears have ever had in their franchise history. And it's not, like those moves, getting rid of Roquan and fucking, God damn it, Robert Quinn and training for Claypool, like that just showed like
I'm going to tell you right
they're
now.
betting on
I'm going to tell you right
Fields.
now. I'm going to tell you right now. Clip that whole thing, specifically you saying Justin Fields is the best quarterback the Bears have ever had. Clip that, put that on TikTok because it's going to do numbies because I know that people are going to argue with you.
Who else is like a great like I think
I don't know
Jim
the Bear.
Harbaugh
I
might
don't I
be
don't I don't
the
I
best
don't
quarterback in
know
Bears history.
I don't know the Bears' whole lineage of quarterbacks, but I do know that they have had a couple good ones. So from like the 70s. But
I do know that the Bears are the only franchise to have never had a quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards in a season.
I'm just saying you should clip it. One other game that I wanted to talk about, and then I want to talk about the Colts for a second. We can wrap up with that. Jets and Bills. I don't really know what happened to the Bills. The Bills were in the lead. They looked great. Stephon Diggs cooked Sauce Gardner for 50 yards first play. Like they looked great, and then I don't know. The Jets came storming back and they won. I don't really know how I feel about it. Like I feel like it's a mirage. I feel like it's not real.
Yeah. Uh Pretty much what I was seeing in this game. I once again, my Chargers were in a bloodbath. I was locked into that. But Bills, Josh Allen elbow's a little funky, I guess. Still, for me, like I saw Zach Wilson got hurt in this game too. I think he ended up.
I thought Joe
returning.
Flacco was coming in.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not.
he
It
ended
was
up
Mike White.
returning.
It was Mike White. Yeah, Zach Wilson did return.
Oh, well then, I mean, I don't know. But from what I'm seeing, like, I didn't really get to tap this game. I don't know, but like, I'm seeing a lot of people rumbling how Sauce Gardner is truly a cornerback one in the NFL right now. And I'm not sure if he was like keying on Diggs or anything, but I saw a lot of people also saying, "Hey, what the hell's up with Diggs right now? What the fuck? Can he not
They just
get
weren't getting
open on
targets.
Sauce?" No, he got 10 targets, only 5 catches. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I saw some people on Twitter were kind of like Stephon Diggs. What the fuck's going on right now? Come on, you got to get open on Sauce. Garrett Wilson, you can say, yeah, Garrett Wilson was the best receiver on the field Sunday. 8 catches, 9 targets, 92 yards, compared to Stephon's 5 catches, 10 targets, 93 yards. I know Steph had more catches, but I mean, when we're looking at yards per attempt, man, I mean, shit.
It's interesting. I just thought something to note because people consensusly, even though the Eagles are 8-0, people consensusly still thought the Bills were better than them. So it's interesting to see that they can lose. They can lose to a team that, even though the Jets are 6-3, people still don't think that they're that good. And it's the fact that they can lose to that, and give the Jets credit for that. The Jets, I think,
don't really know what to make out of them. What do you think about the Jets?
It's so tricky.
You think they're real? You think? I mean, win's a win, Everett. But I mean,
a win is a win. I'll give them that. The problem is if they had anybody other than Zach Wilson at quarterback,
100%.
I would say that I'm buying fully in on Jet stock.
I'd say that's
but
more
it's
so.
It's solely the fact that Zach Wilson is their quarterback that I am not bought in. I swear, I know that
was their quarterback, you'd feel way better than that.
If Jimmy G was, if Joe Flacco was still their quarterback and they had the same record, the same wins, everything, the exact same stat lines, but if Zach Wilson, if it's Joe Flacco's name instead of Zach Wilson, I'm vibing with them. I'm riding them. But I solely think that it's the fact that it is Zach Wilson that I cannot.
Also,
physically
this is an interesting thing. I'm not really sure what to make out of this. You tell me what you think. The Jets, they're 2-3 at home this year, but they're 4-0 on the road.
It's a really interesting situation.
The Warriors, I mean, I don't really take much out of that, but like, that's interesting.
Props
they have
to
a
them.
Negative record at home, winning record on the road. That's interesting.
Props to them. I don't really know how. I mean, maybe they just hate New York.
Yeah, they're just mad the Giants are getting all the love, not them.
Could be.
But yeah, okay. You said you want to
talk. Yeah. So the last thing that I want to talk about, and we're going to wrap up the episode with this because I have to go teach myself 3 chapters in physics for my exam tomorrow. Colts have fired Frank Reich today. They fired their head coach. Yes. They instead of promoting internally or finding as somebody to that's in the NFL to become their interim head coach, They hired
Versace on their stuff.
no, is on the Packers staff. They hired former Pro Bowl center and ESPN analyst Jeff Saturday to be their interim coach, who, by the way, has zero coaching experience outside a 3-20 record in high school coaching football.
Jeff Saturday is an NFL Network analyst, ESPN analyst, right?
ESPN analyst.
Yeah,
he's on like Get Up sometimes.
I didn't even know what to make out of that when I was like, wait, like now the Frank Reich firing, get it.
Makes sense.
But
dude, I think the Colts are tanking. I think that's their way of saying we're tanking. Okay, like obviously, like
I don't even know how else.
If you hit, right, you're like, all right, we're just gonna like screw around. Like, why don't we just hire somebody to see how they do, right? And you hit, like you seem like the biggest genius in the history of the NFL.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But I'm gonna assume that Jeff Saturday is not going to hit. I'm going to presume that people on that staff are about to be pissed off. People in the NFL are about to be pissed off.
What did Jonathan Taylor, what did Quentin Nelson think when he woke up this morning? Wait, Jeff Saturday is my fucking head coach?
Quentin Nelson might have been hyped. I'm not going to lie.
He might have been hyped on it.
He might have been hyped.
I think about it, but
he might have been hyped. But like that's the same thing of being like, all right, we're firing our head coach. Let's get Josh McCown in here to be our head coach. Like at least Josh McCown has a little bit of coaching experience. Jeff Saturday's got nothing. He's got a negative record.
I'm really confused. Well, I mean, it's not like the Colts are making the playoffs this year. Like, it's not like that's the goal. It's just, to me, it sends a strange message.
Sends a pretty crappy message. And maybe they're just hoping that Jeff Saturday maybe just becomes like an absurd coach.
Maybe
like,
they help some culture.
If they start winning, like everybody's going to be like, damn, what the fuck? How do the Colts know what's going? Like, did they know? Like, did they know beforehand? Like that it was going to be like this? Do they have like an inkling? But I just think that it sends a message right now that they're tanking. I think that that's something that the NFL is going to have to look into. I think that there's going to be reports and stuff that are going to start coming out that it's going to be a similar thing to maybe the Dolphins, maybe the Browns.
In my opinion, like, so in the past, I haven't really quite understood like tanking, being like a middle tier team and still fucking giving your best effort from like a fan perspective, what you want your organization to do. And for a long time, I've always been like a believer, like, okay, you're not going to win this year. Just fucking tank, get your best draft pick. After being a Chargers fan this year, you get this fucking Everett 4 or 5 months of the year, and you get to watch your teams once a week, dude. Like, you want them to win every single fucking week. Okay. There's no such thing as tanking. There's no such thing as tanking. In my opinion, there's no such thing as tanking in the NFL. Or at least that's how you should be playing it. Obviously there is, but I don't think from a fan perspective, I would never want to see my teams tank. I don't care how bad you are. I would never want to see them openly go out there and trying to lose. It would pain me to watch that.
I agree. Also, reports state that
long term it might help. I just couldn't. But go on.
Reports state that Josh Allen might be out 4 weeks.
So okay, Bills are 6-2 right now.
Vikings 16-1.
I want to look at just a quick
Vikings 16-1.
Quick, Everett.
I almost want Josh Allen to play.
I want to just have a quick little outlook on the season. Oh my God. Oh, and you play them next
in Buffalo.
God damn it. That's why you brought up Case Keenum. You should have made that a bigger point. Like,
I was talking about the Vikings.
But I wasn't quite aware that you guys are playing them next week.
And I was talking about the Vikings, so I would assume that you could read into some inferences.
I didn't have the schedule pulled up Everett yet.
I
don't have the schedule fucking memorized, but okay. Upcoming schedule, just the next 4 games for Buffalo. No bye weeks. They got Vikings at home, Browns at home, Lions on the road, Patriots at the road.
I still think they can split that 3-1.
When is Deshaun Watson coming back in 2 weeks?
Deshaun Watson, it's
week
12, I think.
It's the Texans week. I forget
yes.
what it is though, but
I think it's week 12. I think it's week 12.
Now, I'm not suggesting the Browns are going to make a push here, but
they could
definitely fuck up some shit late season and like get some wins. At the end of the year, Browns, Texans and onward, they got Texans, Bengals, Ravens, Saints, Commanders, Steelers. So I
Yeah,
mean, they can
they
mess
could
up
they could ruin
Bengals,
some stuff.
Ravens a little.
Yeah, they could definitely ruin some stuff. I am gonna cut you off there. We've been rambling.
I
We've
think
been rambling.
that's been plenty.
Thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. Follow us at Waterboy Pod. Check us out on YouTube at Waterboy Pod. Check us out on Twitter at Waterboy Pod, even though we really don't use it, but you can still follow us. Give us some, emotional support.
Check it out.
Make sure to play us on airlines. Holiday season is coming up. With holiday season means you're traveling. What traveling means you are, not you will, not you will, not you should, not you could. No, you are promoting our podcast on Delta Airlines specifically. We would take Virgin Air if Virgin Air still existed, but they don't. So please walk up and down your aisles. Make sure everybody's subscribed. With that,
I'll let you do your Waterboy app. I just want to say, quick fun fact of the day: the NFC and AFC Beast, respectively, are the only divisions with at least 3 teams with 6 wins or more. And also, the AFC
unexpected.
AFC Beast is the only division where every team is above 500.
Very unexpected. With that, Waterboy's out.